Bonjour, and of course, this is the wonderful and most delicious okra shrimp gumbo that I love. I'll be cooking my favorite dish today. Already started smothering, which means cooking down this okra here. And this is what I'm going to use with my shrimp, my beautiful bone crevettes. Now, to this, I have to add some onions. And a lot of onions is good, but not too much because you don't want to make it really overpower the okra taste, because I just love that okra. Now, just a little tip, when you're cooking okra, if you want to boil it or smother it, add a dab of vinegar to it, which I have already added, but you add just a dab of vinegar and it kind of helps that slimy feeling that the okra has. So it'll really, it'll be just as pretty and green, but it won't take away from that taste of it. Just a dab. Now, you don't want to put too much. Of course, next, I'm going to add our tomatoes that I have already sliced and diced. Now, for this, I really like to peel my tomatoes because I do not like to have the peelings throughout the dish. Okay. Look how pretty that is. Smells good too. Man, I can't wait to eat this. This is really my favorite dish in the okra and shrimp. But as I said, I can't cook it too often because, well, the general doesn't like this, but I have a surprise for him today, so we'll fix him up. We're not going to disappoint him. Okay. Now, to this, I'm going to add my bon crevettes. Bon chevret is what I would say. Look at those beautiful Louisiana shrimp. And you want to add enough because you want the shrimp taste in here, and you don't want to have to pick and choose for the shrimp in it. The kind of, you don't want to seine for the shrimp. You really need to have them very plentiful, just like we have them in Louisiana. Look at this. This is gorgeous, yes. So there's a mixture of, it's really more shrimp than you have okra, and so shrimp okra gumbo. We just added the okra to the shrimp gumbo. Now, as you've noticed, this gumbo does not have roux in it. Oh, I got a little bit more shrimp. Just let me throw the rest of them in here. You'll be all right. Yeah, very good, very good. Now, okay, my hands here. Oh yes, us Cajuns like to use our hands when we're cooking and talking. Okay, yes. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to season it. And I'll show you how I do that, teach you how to do the seasoning. This is my salt cellar. And just with my fingers. And what did I tell you before? The shrimp and any seafood need to have more seasoning in it because it just requires more seasoning. Now, the shrimp will also make water here, which actually it draws water out of the shrimp when you cook them. So you want to be careful and not add too much water, but yet you want enough liquid in there, which we'll be forming in a minute. See, it's bubbling right here, and it's forming the liquid. I'll put some Louisiana pepper sauce in here. Okay, very good. Man, we're going to eat good today. I will, anyway. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. This is good. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do next is that you have to add your water to this, just a little bit of water, because remember I told you, shrimp will draw water. You don't want it to be too watery. This is really a sort of a soupy, a thick, soupy gumbo. And of course, the okra thickens this, so that's what makes it so thick. And I eat it with rice, of course. Seasoning is just right. Yeah. So while this goes ahead and cooks, because you want to make sure that your shrimp is cooked with your in your okra. Let's for, but you don't have to overcook it because remember, seafood doesn't take long to cook. You don't want to overcook it. Here's shrimp. They're so pretty. They'll turn pretty and pink, and oh, that'd be so good. So now I've got this all going. We're going to just let that simmer, and I'm going to show you how to peel and cut the tomatoes that I've already put in there. Of course, I have a tomato knife. This is a wonderful tool. Every kitchen needs a tomato knife. That, I love it. Of course, you just take it and you just go round and round. And see? Just take the peeling off real neat. It's good. It's really nice. Now, you could do it another way. Either one would be fine, and I'll show you another way. You could slice your tomato in half, and you could wedge them. Of course, that's another way to do it. And you pick up your tomato and you wedge, and you do it this way. So it's whatever you prefer doing, whichever is easier for you. This is the way you would slice your tomatoes and peel them. And this is the next way, you just dice them. This is dicing. So, you don't want them too chunky, but they will cook down some. So actually, that's the beauty of it. They'll cook real, okay. Now these are the okra that I'm gonna be chopping up. I've got 3 of them here. You take the little stem off. Let me move it here. That's a tomato. You take the little stem off here, and I cut this off too, because actually when you make your okra gumbo, now if I'd be boiling this in the pot and to pickle it, I'd just leave the whole okra together. But since I'm doing the okra gumbo, I just slice it up. So this is quick and easy. Very good. Very pretty. Now sometimes when your okra is really big, it's hard. So you want to make sure that your okra is not a big, long okra and long and big, because usually those are hard and you don't want to cook them. Matter of fact, sometimes you can't even cut them. They're so hard. All right, so very good. Well, now I've taught you how to do a couple more items. And the next thing I'm going to teach you to do, even though this gumbo does not have any roux in it, I feel it important to teach you how to make a roux. How they say that? First you make a roux. Or is it, well, first you do make a roux to make any kind of sauce or gravy in Cajun cooking. And you can do that. You can saute onions, bell pepper, and celery. You're a Cajun cook chef. So I'm going to get my flour, and then we'll start teaching you how to make a perfect roux.